Hello, everybody. My name is Jon. I play guitar.
I'm Caden. I play bass.
Russell on percussion.
I'm Desmond Parks, and I'm Sparrow Blue.
Liam, I play drums.
I'm Chad. I play guitar, and we're Sparrow Blue.
Nobody else wanted to do it. What the fuck?
Amazing.
God damn it.
Hell yes. Welcome, everybody at home. Thanks for tuning in. Before we dive into it, I'm just going to remind you guys, if you could please click that subscribe button and the notification for future episodes and uploads. And welcome, Sparrow Blue, for coming all the way from Edmonton, Alberta to St. Isidore de Bellevue, Saskatchewan. Thank you guys so much, man. A true honor.
We have
to have you guys
six Sparrow Blues.
Six blue sparrows. I love it.
I've always wanted to come here anyways, so.
Hell yeah.
I know, it was on your bucket list, right? Yeah.
Right on. So it's been a little while since you guys have been on the show, and the last time, for those of you at home, it was virtually. So like I said before, true honor having you guys here in person. And you guys did not disappoint with your performances here today. Holy shit, my hat is off to you guys.
Yeah. Was it weird playing acoustically?
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions too.
Yeah, it was, because we don't do it very often, and I think the volume shift between how we play on stage and how we had to kind of alter that into an acoustic setting. It was a nice challenge, but it definitely felt a little out of my comfort zone personally. I don't know how these guys felt, but
It's really comfortable.
yeah. I mean, you looked comfortable. You were sitting in that rocking chair.
Rocking chair approach.
Yeah, but no, it's a new experience and a new challenge, and it was a lot of fun to do. And we've been practicing these and trying to get into the acoustic vibe a little bit more. So
Yeah, playing the song differently than they are normally recorded, like Delta being kind of swingier, slower, is a cool way to challenge ourselves, playing the song different ways than we always play it.
yeah.
Very cool.
Freaking rights. And
Yeah.
so you guys have been together performing for, I want to say, about 8 years, correct?
Correct.
For the viewers who have not seen the last time you guys were on, could you give us maybe a little recap of like an origin story of how Sparrow Blue got to where you guys are today?
Absolutely. It all started in 2016, or 2015, actually. 2016 was our first show, being in February. But we got together in probably early fall of 2015. It all started from one of our songs entitled River Water. The former guitar player and I wrote it in our backyard. And we kind of decided, we need a band behind this. Let's try it out. And Liam, the drummer here, and our other friend who used to play bass for us, we knew about them already. We played a couple shows with them just for fun and buddies' events at their houses or that sort of thing. So we knew to call them right away. And then we both knew Des because went to high school with him. And we're both like, well, we got to get that guy in because he's a hell of a front man. And then we met up at Liam and Bob's place here. Bob's always had the jam space for us this entire time, which we're extremely thankful for. And it's made things a lot easier because I know a lot of bands sometimes struggle to find a good jam space.
100%.
I've been to a lot of greasy jam spaces people bring me to. Ours is freaking nice, man, compared to that. Not gonna, yeah. Well, anyway, so we started jamming. Russell was there, and he just started kind of like playing a tambourine or something. And I'd seen the Ringo Starr band recently at that time, and so it'd be cool to have a percussionist maybe, like a dedicated percussionist. And because at that show I saw it, and it basically stole the show sometimes. Like, it was really cool to watch, and like I know other classic bands have had it before. It's something you don't see too often anymore. So decided to bring it back, kind of. And it all started off, Russell taped a few things to a kitchen chair. Cowbells, sticks, chimes, that sort of thing, tambourine. And that's where it kind of started. So we booked our show at the Starlight Room in February in 2016. At the Bricks, yeah, the basement. It used to be called the Bricks down there before it turned into the Revival, the restaurant now. And we didn't expect too much out of it, but it ended up being sold out. So we decided, well, that was pretty awesome. So why not book another one? And then that one sold out, and then why not book another one after that? And it sold out again. And it's just kind of been snowballing from there. And now we're touring the country, and we're this is only the beginning still, in my opinion.
Right.
We got a lot of this world to see as a band, so it's just starting.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.
How many albums does Sparrow Blue currently have out there right now?
We have 2 full lengths and a handful of singles as well that are separate.
Yeah.
We just released our second LP in June of this year. That was self-recorded by us.
By him.
Yeah. In our own space. So
Amazing.
that was kind of a pretty cool milestone to hit.
No
It was
doubt.
something I always wanted to try to do. I've never really done it before, and I think it turned out great. People seem to be enjoying it, so
Hell yeah. Do
pretty
you do
stoked
like
on
the mixing and mastering as well?
I did the engineering and the producing. We sent it out to be mixed by a local professional, Stu Kirkwood, who
Okay.
in the Edmonton world, a lot of people know him. And he worked his magic and brought it to life, so that was
Hell
good.
yeah.
Very cool.
Now I'm super interested also when you guys release the singles and the LPs and stuff. Do you guys ever send it to radio as well, or do you guys just go to like streaming platforms and?
Oh, we send the majority of our stuff to the radio.
Hell yeah.
The singles are easier for the radio to kind of just like pick up and slot in and stuff. The full album, having them trying to file through what songs fit for them is a little more of a tedious process. But when we come out with singles, it's, hey, this is new, this is fresh. We'd love to hear it spin, and most of the times they're pretty damn receptive. So
Amazing.
it's good, yeah.
Well,
That's
you guys
awesome.
you guys are freaking great, man. Mark and I have had the honor of seeing you guys perform a couple times in Saskatoon, which isn't too far away from here. I think we saw you at Coors Event Center. I've seen you perform at the Capitol. I think you saw them at the Capitol a couple times.
I think, yeah,
Okay.
Capital twice. Is that possible?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
played Capitol twice for sure, if
Yep.
not more. Yeah.
Right on.
Yep.
So,
So the performances on stage at both Coors and Capital and here is quite a bit different.
Yeah, it's
Because you're an explosive band.
it's a different dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
To be bouncing around and going crazy with the loud electric music is, that we eat that shit up, man. Like we love it, and especially this fucking cowboy. This cowboy here, he loves to move around the stage, and Caden's an amazing stage performer as well. Like
Don't stop.
Keep going.
Don't worry, I'm gonna touch you
Keep
later.
going,
No, we all the guys are just so energetic on stage, and I think that's what brings a little bit of the charm to the band, if not a lot of the charm to the band, is we engage with our crowd, and we just love being up there. So coming to a smaller space, quieter space, and toning things down it's a total juxtaposition of like the music. So it's cool. It's fun. Yeah.
no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah, Chad can't stand still. We determined.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to do that.
I've seen enough performances where, they don't talk to the crowd. They're just standing there playing their instrument, which is great if you're good at playing your instrument, but we're not doing. That's why we move around so much, so you don't notice how bad we actually play.
Just a little misdirection.
And then people are like, "Oh, he missed the note." Well, that's because he's bouncing around. We'll
Okay,
give
he
him
just
that.
jumped off the amp stand. That's why.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like these guys move around so much on the stage. It blows my mind how they're always able to stay sharp and stay in like total time and everything like that. I don't have to carry around a guitar, so all I have to do is go back up to the mic. But watching these guys move around the way they do, it's just like it's really invigorating every time you're on the stage, because you know, you might be in a odd headspace or something where you're just like, oh yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this show. But then when you have these animals like really moving around and always engaging with each other and with the crowd and with me, it's just so it's the lifeblood, I think, of the band. And I mean, you turn around and you look at Liam and Russ, and they're pouring sweat and they're just rocking so hard. I think that's really
Glistening.
just, yeah, you're glistening. I think that's really what we appreciate about each other as well, is like how 110% we always give to each other.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, that makes all the sense, for sure. Has there ever been, so in your guys' 8 years of performing, do you have like, what are your more memorable performances that you guys have done? Like, do you have any like top
And
two or three
you don't have to
favorites
say
that you guys have
capital,
done?
or you don't have to say.
Yeah.
that's a good question. Yeah, I'll start on the end here, and we can work our way.
I mean, my first show with the band was opening for the Sheepdogs, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool time. It was kind of coming out of the pandemic or during the pandemic, I don't know. There was a festival in Edmonton called Together Again, and that was kind of the first year they did it. They had some really great Canadian bands coming to town, and they brought on some local support, and we were fortunate to be playing along with them, the Dirty Nil, the Watchmen, and the Sheepdogs.
Oh wow.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
and Default, yeah. I think that was like their reunion rock show kind of thing at the time, which was really cool. It was a great way to kick things off with these guys.
Freaking right.
So-
So
And
how
from
in-
that time on, you always play that Sheepdogs riff.
I don't think I've played it since, actually, besides today.
We actually played that song on stage before they came on.
We did it better.
just steal it. Just do their whole set before they
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
take the stage.
Yeah,
Hell
play your
yeah.
way out of this one, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I think festivals just in general are usually the most fun because you get to see other stuff, and like often you get to stay the whole weekend or something. Like we recently did 2 performances at North Country Fair in Alberta, and it's kind of like a weird boutique kind of festival. The stages are really unique looking, and the people are really unique, and it was just a good time. We were there all weekend partying, having fun, and played like our first set there. I think we started at like 3 a.m. or something.
Oh.
So it was just like,
Wow.
it was just like that kind of stuff is what's memorable to me, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of nailed it on the head with that. Going to North Country, playing at 3 a.m, and festivals are so memorable because you get to see so many artists and interact with so many artists, and then you get to play on the same stage as them and recognize everybody's in the same kind of boat, being like, okay, well, we got to work, we got to buckle down, and then afterward, we're going to fucking party.
Yeah.
So those are always the most memorable to me. North Country was great. We did Trelapa a while back. That was fun, in Tramping Lake there. That was a good festival. Well, we do Edmonton, Taste of Edmonton, Taste of Calgary, Inglewood Night Market, Lilac Fest, and the funnest part is honestly just meeting the other musicians that
Right.
you work with and shit.
Almost like networking.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing,
and it's
right?
just everybody's on the same level
Yeah.
is really the cool thing about it. But one show in particular, it's kind of hard to pinpoint, and I mean, I might be sentimental, but honestly, I think our very first show that we ever played was the most memorable show because that was when everything kickstarted, and being on stage and seeing how full the room was, surprisingly, like we weren't sure how it was going to go,
Yeah.
and seeing it sold out and people like up the stairs trying to get into the like, it was packed. And that was probably where things just switched in my head, where I was like, oh fuck, we're doing this,
Like, this
like
is
let's rock. Yeah.
That's awesome.
My favorite was probably Cold Lake last year. We ended up opening for Finger 11.
Oh,
But
shit.
the thing was is that it was a north-facing stage. It was raining all day. sideways into the back of the frickin' stage, and this thing was huge, and it was almost like on the border of like being canceled, kinda. And we came out there. It was just because of all that rain, there wasn't even that many people there. I didn't really think about that. It was just the atmosphere. Dez came sliding across the stage, like 15 feet across on his knees. He shows up on stage, he did the frickin' hand in the mud. And it was like an Urukai frickin' coming out there in the light and the rain. So that was my favorite.
And of course, Chad had no shoes on, and we're like,
Yes.
please do not get electrocuted and die.
Yeah.
For the love of God. It's just a skim layer of water across this entire stage. Mine's tough. It's like obviously the first one for me, which was actually at Coors Event Center 2 years ago here. That was my first performance ever. So that was like absolutely
not just
wild.
with the band.
Not just with the band,
in
just
general.
ever. So it was like, this is insane. And I got up the stage and I'm freaking out. And Liam's just sitting there. How was it, man? I'm like, dude, I can't stop. I can't. Oh my God.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you get used to it, man. I still haven't gotten used to it, though. Every show we play is just like, this is brand new to me. This is crazy. But most memorable for sure was the hometown show for me in Vernon, BC. We played Martin Brewing Company. They'd never played shows there before, so we brought all of our own lights, all of our own PA, soundboard, everything, set it all up. Literally playing on the floor in this concrete building. So sound was, but
It was great. It sounded great.
it was loud. It was loud. And pretty much everyone I've ever known my whole life was in that room watching us perform. And they were like, we knew you were going to do it at some point. Just to do it at home like that with these great guys, it was absolutely amazing. So, and opening for the Trues, fantastic. This softball tournament this past summer, that was really good too. And we're hoping to get back there for sure, because that's one of my favorite festivals.
Freaking right.
And yeah, kind of like Des was saying, I cannot pinpoint one of my favorite shows because there's been so many fun ones, great ones, lots of attendance, crowd. And I guess my favorite shows would be the ones where the crowd gets the most involved. There's been many of them, we're very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because we totally feed off the crowd's energy.
100%.
And if someone's not rocking out, sometimes I'll look right at them while I'm playing and I'll try to get them to start rocking out.
Tell them to fuck off.
Maybe I'll throw.
Well, I'll take what I can get, 'cause it's been a while, the tremble and the shaking when the lights start getting low. I feel it in my heart, running rhythms at full speed. Good God, in this moment, I never felt so free. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. Start placing all your bets when we'll get on with the show. I wanna feel the shiver when the music steals your soul. This room is getting rowdy, sweat dripping off the walls. Drag on sounding grumpy when the band cranks up their knobs. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. Well, I spent a lot of time just sitting here all by myself, and it feels so bloody good to get up off all that shelf. Getting out of here, I got my feet back on the ground, and the band called Sparrow Blue, and we're blazing through your town. Whole city shaking, there's a party in the street. We've done our share of waiting, drinking, smoking, rock, repeat. This next town is calling, let's do it all again. Another crowd of fans waiting for their turn to dance. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. Cause it's been a while, the tremble and the shaking when the lights start getting low. I feel it in my heart, running rhythms at full speed. Good God, in this moment man, I've never felt so free. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll. I just can't wait to play that rock and roll.
Does that happen where like a big enough crowd, but the
Dance,
people
Vernon.
up at the front who are like not responsive, but yet they're right
Dude.
front row?
It actually does happen more frequently than I would expect because they're standing right in front of you. They want to be there. They want to watch the show. And then there's just no energy or response. But then you talk to them after the show and they're like, that was fucking amazing. That was such a good show. And I was like, couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
thanks for taking up the leg space. There was some dude moshing behind you, but
Yeah. Then
no, it's fun. It's
Yeah,
great.
that's funny. I had an opposite one in Vancouver where these two guys weren't right up front. They were just a little bit back, but they were like enjoying it a lot. And they were moshing with each other, switching each other around. And staff comes over. They're like, no.
Breaking them up?
No
What?
moshing here. I'm like, I looked at that. I was like, what? The only two people in here enjoying themselves.
It's a buzzkill.
They're hitting each other. So I jumped off the stage and started moshing with them. I was like, mosh
hell.
with me. They can't tell me to stop.
Fuck
you
yeah.
guys are wild.
So I was like, that's stupid. Like, if they're going to enjoy it, let them enjoy it. They're not hurting anybody, just the
Yeah.
two of them. Like,
Yeah.
That actually happened at our first show ever.
Yeah.
When we were at the Bricks. So the soundboard was kind of right smack in the middle of where the pit would have been, maybe just off to the side, tiny bit. And the crowd started getting really rambunctious, and there was a pit that started, and the sound guy comes up to me at the end of one of the songs, and he says, "You're going to have to calm your crowd down because otherwise I'm going to have to shut the show down." And I said, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
And this is your first
very,
show.
very first show ever. And the crowd is like very, very active and having a lot of fun. And he tells me that we got to tell the crowd to calm down. And so at the end of one of the songs, he actually did shut us off. And we thought our stage or our set was over because he'd shut things down. Maybe I'm explaining this wrong, but from what I saw on the whole experience was that he just shut us off, and then everybody in the crowd was like, more. And he comes up to us after, like, I don't know, 5 minutes after, he says, "I'm turning you guys back on." And I was
'Cause the crowd
well,
was
yeah,
just
no
demanding
shit,
it."
dude. And the crowd got angrier, kind of thing. But it was just so funny being at the first show ever, and the sound guy's like, "I'm gonna have to turn you off because the crowd is getting too rowdy." And I was like, "Well, I mean, I hope they punch you in the face. Like, let's make this shit rowdy, dude."
Yeah, let's keep it going.
But that's what you want in a show, especially like yours. You want people to be engaged, and
Absolutely.
I'm guilty of being the guy up front just bobbing my head, but I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I want to see people
Oh yeah,
get
man.
into it. Yeah,
And there's a difference between like watching it and engaging it, but then there's people who are just skeletons. They're just like,
that's creepy.
I'm like, I think I can smell that you're dead.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit,
Absorbing
man.
the information they're looking at.
Yeah.
I always get nervous. I typically put my hands in my pockets, right, just for comfort, I guess. If you're standing around a bunch of people, and then
What else are you gonna do
I
with your
always-
hands? Like,
yeah,
I don't have a
it's
guitar.
that whole fucking Ron Burgundy thing where it's like, what do I do? Like, yes, I could clap, I suppose, but I always just feel really guilty for having my hands in my pockets. So I don't know.
Well, I mean,
just me in
it's
my head.
busy area, man. Like it's easy to get kind of defensive in a way,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yep.
When there's so many people just going crazy around you, it's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
not be
No,
the crazy one, and I do that all the time at shows, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm either in the back or if I'm up front, I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, fuck.
Yeah.
This is great.
I like,
Yeah, this is great.
I
I'm definitely
always
guilty of it, too.
try. I think I'm probably around 90% of the shows I go to. I'm typically like front row center, maybe the first couple rows or whatever. Very rarely in the middle of the crowd. Like it's either way up front or I'm at the back where I can just be safe and
Yeah, me here.
see everything.
Me too.
But yeah, fucking A, man. The shows that I've seen you guys, I think I've been right up front, like just off center type of thing.
Right on.
I got a little bit of footage of you guys out there somewheres. But yeah, let's talk about the songs that you guys sang for us here today. If we can get a little backstories on those, that would be lovely, you guys.
Let's start with that rock and roll.
Sure, yeah. That rock and roll, that was a song that kind of came out of the pandemic and the frustration we were feeling being restricted
Locked
from
in.
doing what we do. You know, like our whole thing is playing music and connecting with people.
Yeah.
When we're not on stage, we're not our full selves, right? And that really is where that stemmed from. We just couldn't wait to play that rock and roll, and it turned into something that was more of an ode to live music and, you know, to our fans, and really just like thank you for keeping us on the road and letting us do what we do. So that was kind of the backstory to that one.
Sweet.
And I don't know what the other ones are.
We played Winters at my place. I suppose that would be our main ballad kind of a song.
It's a beautiful fucking song, you guys.
Thank you
I
very
think
much.
out of the three, sorry to interrupt, out of the three, I think that one, I'd put my money on that one.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's our most streamed song as well, surprisingly. But yeah, that one, I guess Des wrote the lyrics for that one, so you can explain the lyrics.
Well, it was very interesting. It came about when a couple of our old guitarists were riffing around, and one of them said, "Hey, this reminds me of Winters at my place," and because they used to hang out and skidoo and stuff together, and like hanging out in the double wide and stuff. And I said, "Well, that's a perfect start right there." And at the time, I just thought, sorry, this is it's a little difficult to talk about, but at the time I was going through some shit, and I thought maybe I can get it out in vocals and get it out in writing. And it was just basically about a guy who had spent a lot of his time on another person, and it kind of evolved into this more balladic thing. Sorry, one sec, guys.
A new day. We won't be long here, just figured I'd stay. Summer in the new light lets the chill sink in. We need our love to drown out the dead. side. I can't sleep at night. Yeah. Autumn with frost setting slows it all down. The mistakes that we made wear like a crown. Winters, yeah, winters in my place. Let the chill sink deep. The memories of our love freeze when I sleep. Cold outside. How do you sleep at night? Yeah. There was just a lot of emotion that went into the song, especially when it shifted from the easy listening, easy start of it to the energetic kind of crescendos in the choruses and stuff. So I was able to write into a lot of anger and emotion and freedom and everything into the crescendos that it was just a release. It was a really great release on that song. So that's where I really put a lot of emotion into recording that song. I've lost my train of thought because it's a big song for me. It's a really big song for me. So
when you play that on stage, is that emotion still there, or is that more like, okay, this is now a song and this is a separate product?
Yeah, how difficult is it to
you separate yourself from that, or?
No, every drop of that song, every single time there's a lot in there, and I feel it every single time we play it. We've played it probably over 100 times now, and every single time we play it is like, it's monumental to me personally.
I'm glad
it's actually, I have a different kind of perspective of it, because that song means a lot to me in a certain way, because my uncle Blair, godfather, passed away a couple years ago, and he's one of our biggest fans as well. And at his funeral, I didn't know it was going to happen, but during the slideshow, they actually put it on to like a hall of like 500 people. And everyone just looked at me. I was like, damn, that's powerful, man.
Wow.
And yeah, we're playing in Saskatoon tonight. A bunch of his family is going to be there, so I'm sure I'll dedicate it to him.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I think with a song like that, where it comes from, emotion like that, people instantly connect with it. Just when it gets played on stage, you can tell when people are just standing there, not moving, but it's a different kind of not moving. It's locked in on Des hitting the crescendo. You know, a lot of emotion is coming up in that moment.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason it's the most streamed, and there's a reason people connect with it on stage, because it came from an emotional place. And you can feel that it's real every time you play it.
100%, man. I couldn't agree more. There a lot of songs that I'm drawn to. You can feel the emotion that's put into it. I myself personally, I'm a recovering addict, so any fucking song that's out there that has to do with like drug addiction or alcoholism or anything, I'm immediately relating to it, and they really hit me hard. Yeah. Like instantly. You know, so I get it. You feel the emotion. It's relatable. It's those hit hard, man, for sure. Yeah. Fucking rights. And the third song you guys did here today was titled...
It's called Delta Red.
Okay.
And traditionally, that song is probably our fastest song on stage. And we dialed down the speed today just to try something different and put it more of a bluesy, dancey kind of a swing to it somewhat. So it was kind of interesting to try. When we first jammed, we weren't sure it was going to happen, but it ended up being one of our favorite ones. Usually I just shred like an Angus Young style solo over it too at one point, but I tried to I changed my solo completely to kind of match with the song, so that was interesting. As far as the lyrics go, again, Des wrote the lyrics to that one, so he can explain what they're about.
They're about not giving a fuck and giving her.
Get in there, bud.
Literally. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were talking about Winters at my place, and now we're talking about Delta Red. It's about not giving a fuck. That's all it is. Yeah, I have two modes. I have on and then slightly less on.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I love that.
That's awesome.
So the songs you guys dialed down acoustically today, the original versions of those are all up for people if they're interested in tuning in. They can find you guys. Where's the best place that we could direct them to? Maybe
Spotify would be the first thing I would say. Spotify, YouTube. We have lots of cool music videos out that we put a lot of work into making. All three of those songs have their own music videos, so check that out.
All right.
I think our website too, sparrowblue.ca, is we just finally got vinyl in for our second LP as well, so we're selling those on there and on the road on this tour that we're on now. So yeah, you can find all of our music there too, I'm pretty sure.
Anywhere you stream.
Yeah, anywhere. Yeah.
Anywhere.
It's out everywhere.
So speaking of streaming, is that something you guys kind of rely on financially, or is that
No.
is that
No.
is that one of those things like, well, it has to be there and that's the only reason it's there?
You have to use it. You have to use it as a tool to kind of get yourself to be able to tour like we are. You got to get yourself in front of people. It's not lucrative. Streaming is not, unless you're hitting absolutely fucking insane numbers. But you got to use it. It has to be used, right?
It's a marketing tool.
Yeah, exactly. Really, these tours that we do are where we make the money. Selling the merch. Again, talking about how great festivals are. They always pay great, so they're always as many festivals as you can get on is always a good thing to do it as a band.
But they look at those Spotify numbers, right? Like everybody's relying on where are they at, and they use that generally by.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah,
right?
I just about went on a little flipping rant on last week's episode about it. I don't agree with that. My whole point.
So Spotify I can kind of understand, but things like Instagram and Facebook and how many followers do we have on TikTok and that
100%.
shit, that's just.
My whole spiel from last week's episode, just to sum it all up, was how I don't agree with how the industry is looking at those numbers.
Yeah.
Like you can't listen to a song with your eyes, right? So it's either the music's fucking good or it isn't, and there's no other rhyme or reason.
And it's
to
not.
it.
It's not
And
even
that's
so
just
much.
all my personal feelings on it. It's like it doesn't matter. You could have 0 followers, but a banger of a song that makes number one. That's how I see it.
And it's not even so much about being good or bad. It's does it fit my festival or does it fit my
Yeah.
venue or whatever? You know,
Yeah.
like I know you guys are not a great fit for the Basement in Saskatoon, for example, because that's a jazz club. You know, so that's what people should be looking at, and not at how many followers do they have.
Yeah.
Because who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Well, we've been rejected from several festivals because they say, "Oh, you need to have X amount of followers."
Yeah,
Well,
I think that's
you came to our show. What do you think of the music?
Yeah.
Who gives
yeah,
a shit
yeah.
about the followers?
That was
Just,
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
I would rather play to somebody who wants to hear our shit rather than what does Instagram show?
Yeah,
What does
exactly.
TikTok
100%.
show?
Yeah, none
Fuck
of that,
that.
shit is real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it's all bullshit. It's smoke and mirrors, in my
That's-
opinion.
We'll blow the fucking top off your head if you let us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
And that's what we do with Moose Fest too. We don't give two shits about your Instagram or I mean, it's
Yeah.
cool if you have a following,
we
but whatever.
have the bands here for our festival because we just love that music.
Yeah.
Like we're fans of it, and that's why we do it. We're like, fucking A, let's
Yep.
go.
And
That's-
you
that's
guys are
all
the
it
reason that guys like us can do festivals, and like, you know, those are like those are the kind of things we like doing, is playing with guys that are having us because they like the music, and
Yep.
not just having us because they see,
'Cause
oh,
you
these
have,
guys will sell, you
right,
know,
because
like
you've got 10,000 followers on Instagram or whatever, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And like, you know, sometimes we see other artists that are, you know, getting opportunities, and you know, good for them. There's nothing against that, but you can see that, you know, a lot of those numbers can be faked, and a lot of those numbers can be bought, and it just doesn't make sense to just be looking at a screen and being like, this is how we're picking this band. Like,
Yeah.
it should be about what the music makes you feel, and
100%.
it should always be the music comes first, not the numbers, not the money.
I get
and-
messages almost every day, not quite every day, but it's like in my Instagram inbox, hey, do you need more followers? I can get you more followers for $50.
All
It's
the
like,
bots.
all right.
Yeah.
And then what? Are they
Yeah.
going to buy from me? No, then I'm not interested.
I get
You know?
I get messages of, how do you know these bands? Like, where are you finding these? And the answer
Yeah.
is, I go to shows.
Go
man.
to a venue, yeah.
I go to a show. Like, I might know a band and not be familiar with the opening acts, but I'll get there for them, and I'll listen. And if I like it, great. I'll try and get to them somehow and introduce myself and strike up that conversation. But it's live music, man. That's where it's at.
Or you find a fellow record collector and he says, hey, I'm in a band.
Yeah. Coming in way too hard. You cannot slow me down. I'm flying off the rails, blood rushing to my head. A long man seen my face. I won't stay in one place now. One place now. The long man seen my face. I won't stay in one place now. One place now. Well, they know how I rock. They're trying to catch me now. Can't take the wind from my sails. I'll be left for dead in my Delta red, and they've seen my face. I won't stay in one place now. One place now. The long man seen my face. I won't stay in one place now.
one place now. One place now. The long man seen my face. I won't stay in one place now. One place now. Ooh, yeah, in my Delta Red, my little Delta Red.
Well, I really appreciate and agree with what you just said there, because so many of my friends, especially when we were starting out, I think less so now, they would always ask, when are you guys on? And I would just give them the door time.
Yep.
Because fuck you. Like,
Yep.
come see these other artists, man. Like,
Exactly.
you just because you don't know them doesn't mean they aren't going to blow your mind. Like, you might really enjoy these
Yep.
artists. Like, so, yeah, just door time. When are you guys on?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Doors
matter.
are at
Door
9.
time.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're on at 9.
Yeah.
One thing that we do appreciate with playing with other bands is when they stick around and watch the other bands after, instead of just leaving as soon as they're done, taking their crowd with them.
I couldn't agree more,
Yep.
man.
It happens so much, and it's
Annoying.
I would never do that personally, but
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how many people do it, man.
Oh,
Yep.
dude, I couldn't agree more. It's like our Moose Fest was just like, I don't know, a month ago ish, and I was saying on last week's episode, my highlight of this year's festival was the artists that showed up unprompted to just come and support, hang out, party, listen to like the
They played Moose Fest last year and the year before.
Like-
Two separate bands showed up.
yeah,
Just
to support, to
Yeah.
come and hang out and just party with us, which that was my highlight of this year's festival.
And that's-
it was actually one of them is a mutual friend of ours, the Hour Hand. I know you
fuck
guys know
yeah.
them.
Yeah,
So,
those guys are fucking
those
awesome,
fuckers
man.
bought tickets
Love
under
those
an
dudes.
alias so that
Yeah.
we didn't know it was them. And there was just at one point during the show, I was stepping out to go for a cigarette, and those fucking guys were walking in, and I was just like, that may. And then as we're saying our hellos out there, the Michaela Anderson, the singer from The Radiant, her and her husband were rolling in as we were out there, and we're just like, fucking hey, like let's go, dude. That was like my highlight of the festival. It's shit like that.
We're all buddies with those guys too. We played a lot of shows with both those
Yeah.
bands.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
They're
they were actually just in Edmonton last weekend.
yeah.
We just happened to run into each other at the Marcus King show.
Hell
And,
yeah, dude. That's right. How was that?
Oh, it was a great show. What I remember was pretty good.
Fucking right. Dude, I'm a big fan.
Oh
of
yeah,
Marcus King.
he never lets me down. Like he's come a few times to Edmonton, and I always forget until I see them, but they show up every time he comes to town. Like they're big fans of him, and it's always great to see him. I tried getting them out to come to the Nest and do some jamming after the show, but I think we were all a little too piled up.
Feeling a little good there.
Oh yeah, so for those who don't know, the Nest is our rehearsal space, our recording space. It's our nest, our home,
Hell
our
yeah.
home when we're at home kind of thing, where we like to get together. Bob here, our lovely driver, is the owner of the property, and he's been great for long before I joined the band to have us there as much as we want, as late as we want, and
Yeah,
just
Bob,
great
Bob wears a
support.
couple of hats, I believe.
Oh yeah.
We should we should name this episode "What About Bob." Hell yeah! No, there. Just one more quick little shout out to the Hour Hand. They're actually the reason how you guys fell on my radar was because of the Hour Hand. That was a couple of years ago. They
No,
were like,
for you,
should-
maybe.
For me personally, yeah. For me personally, that was how that was my introduction to you guys, was because of them. So
At the Capitol again, yeah.
I think it was at the yeah. You
Pretty
betcha.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, and just to go back quickly to the times thing. That's how we've done Moose Fest every year so far. It's like the gates open at, let's say, noon,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's all we're announcing. These are the bands that are coming. We're
I
not
think
going to tell you
this
when
year,
they play.
this year
This
I
year-
think we did do the times.
But we only did that like the week or 2, maybe
And that
before.
that wasn't even accurate.
No.
So this was the first year that we posted the times. I know, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, man. Shit goes sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We posted the times this year, and then there was like during the thing we had to flip a couple bands around and,
Yeah.
and whatever. But it was everybody performed and it was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I know you guys got to hit the road. You guys do have a show in Saskatoon tonight.
Yep.
So we're not going to keep you guys here much longer. You guys already know you're part of the herd. You guys have been on the program before. We truly respect and appreciate what you guys are doing out there, and we are fans. So I want to thank you
Yes.
guys for coming out here, spending the time with us, and the performances were fucking top tier.
What
man.
he said.
Bravo. Well done. So thank you guys. I hope to do it again in the future. Maybe when we're in Edmonton, we'll come to the nest and we can do an episode there, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dude, that would be wild. We
Sounds
should.
good.
We should do that.
100%.
Cool.
Fucking rights.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
boys.
Thanks, guys.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys next
Thank you.
week. Thanks for tuning in.